Hey wannabes, it's Brian the B-Man from ChillinwithB1.blogspot.com. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Chillin' with B. This week it's games and I'm talking Elder Scrolls Online on the console, specifically the PlayStation 4. So that's what I've been up to the last 2 weeks or so, week and a half. The game came out about a week and a half on Tuesday. I think it was June 9th. I can't remember. Time is slipping by very quickly, and I can't remember if I'm in Tamriel or Planet Earth anymore. I'm really enjoying my time with this game. It was not without hiccups, though, to be honest. The first night, I took off the day after, the Wednesday I took off from work. My plan was to just stay up all night, all day, play with friends, a lot of good times. While me and millions of other people out there were very disenchanted at the fact that come 12 o'clock, one, there was another update that I had installed. It was about another 15 gig or so. And for some people it had pre-installed. For me it did not. But that's okay, because you couldn't play anyway. All you heard was the beautiful, beautiful score of the title screen, of that great, Nordic beat going. Anyway. And you could not get in. Failure to get in. Failure to connect. So, that's what I heard on my friends. We were all in a party group, and I heard that on their TV screens, because some of them play with their TV louder than their microphone, and you know who you are out there. So all I heard was that lovely music as they failed to connect, and then of course once my download was complete I had the same issue. So by 12:30, after having some fun in party chat, just BSing with each other and reminiscing, we decided to call it quits and say let's try again tomorrow morning, or today morning as the fact may be, because at midnight it's actually a new day, but you know what I mean. So I went to bed. I woke up next morning around 5:30, 6 a.m. and I got on. Pretty much no problem. There was a little bit of slowness and whatnot, but I got into the game, created my character, picked my faction. Ebonheart Pact, by the way, all the way, baby. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. But you got to pick your faction when you first create your character, and that's going to determine the group of people you play with, because there's 3 different factions in this game, all at war with each other. So that is probably one of the most important decisions you will make in the beginning of this game when creating your character. Other things are semi-important. I mean, your class, whatever, although every class can be played certain ways. But your faction is going to determine with who you're playing with when you do dungeons, and who you're playing against when you do PvP. So make sure you do your homework. And if you're playing with your friends online in this game and you're new to it, ask them what faction they're playing and choose the same. So anyway, I did that. I created my character, Argonian, which are the lizard-looking dudes. They can breathe underwater, and they have some other skills. They're pretty good at healing, and I wanted my first character in this game to be a healer. So that's where I am with that. So after creating the character, I jump into the game, go through the initial tutorial, which is part of the story. Like every other Elder Scrolls games, you start off captive in a prison and you must escape while learning the gameplay mechanics. A lot of fun, and you start to run into other people throughout this point, but nothing could prepare me for what I saw when I left the starting tutorial area. Alright, so after you escape from the initial cold harbor, which is like the underworld, whatever, you get into your main city, and when I came out of the house, hundreds of other players around me on screen. I mean, this is the beautiful thing about an MMO when it first launches, because it will never ever be this way again. I don't care how popular it gets, everybody will not be joining at the same time in the early zones. Yeah, it can be a curse, because when it comes time for questing and you got to kill certain enemies, they're overcrowded. But it's just such a beautiful thing to see hundreds of other players around you. It feels like a real living world. And I was just like so amazed. And then this game has proximity voice chat. So you hear people talking all the time. Not always a good thing, but if you're near them, you can sometimes hear people talking. Sometimes you hear the background, moms yelling at their kids, get off the game, it's time to do your homework. Very rare. It does happen, but you hear things like that occasionally. Or, go walk the dog. But in general, it's not too bad. If there's somebody you come across and it seems like they're obnoxious, their radio's too loud, it's very easy to mute them. You can see who's talking by a little circle on their head that pops up. But I like it overall. It really gives a sense of immersion when it does work properly. Same thing for grouping. There's nothing greater than grouping up with people for a dungeon, and you're all in the same talk channel, and it's just really, really fun. And I've met a lot of friends. My friend list has grown exponentially since playing this game. And the people, for the most part, in these dungeons are super, super friendly and great people to talk with as you go through and work together to get through these quests. I like it. I definitely like it. I know people on the forums are bitching about proximity chat and no use of a keyboard. I think the keyboard thing, I can kind of agree with a little bit because it makes things easier when you're searching for a guild and whatnot. Whereas right now, the guild I joined, I went online, I did a type in PlayStation 4 Edmund Pact Guild, and I was able to find the guild that way. But for someone who can't get on the computer, I could see that being a hassle. But it's not too big of a deal. In the end, you can still get into guilds fairly easily. You can go to town and just yell into your microphone, "Hey, anybody want to pick me up for a guild?" And I'm sure you'll get an invite. It works out pretty well. But yeah, I like it. And what else can I add to this? I got 2 characters at the time of this recording. I got my Argonian, which I mentioned. He's a Templar healer, a level 22 at the time of this recording. Really enjoying the healer class because you can also do your fair share of damage as well. You're not a DPS by nature. You're not going to do a lot of damage, but you can do enough to survive. You do you pull your weight, and healing is not bad in this game. It's actually fairly easy. And I'm pretty good at it, and my party's always thanking me for keeping them alive and doing a good job. So I feel special. The tank does his job. He feels special, and the DPS are doing their thing. I think the mechanics work well, and, everybody can do their own thing. The tanks are also good DPS. The healers are decent DPS. DPS have heal skills themselves that can keep themselves alive sometimes. So as they call it, the Holy Trinity, the tank, DPS, and healer thing is not necessarily like it is in classic RPGs like World of Warcraft, but it's there, but not fully, because every class can do their own thing, and I like that. Questing is fun, although I'm not gonna lie, I skip a lot of dialogue, because there's just so much to do. There's like hundreds and hundreds of quests in this game, and if I sit there and listen to all the dialogue, I'd never level. So, some quests I listen to, especially the main storyline quests, but there are some I skip, but they're all very, very detailed, well put together for the most part. Some of the voice acting is, B-list, but some is actually pretty good as well. Especially the main storyline quest is pretty good. And, if you haven't noticed, I really am digging this game. Really liking it, and this is just a week and a half into it. Now, I did have it on PC. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. And I liked it on PC. It's definitely the better looking version. But I am a controller person by heart. I love it on the console. I love being able to sit back in my chair with a controller and play. Talk to people on the mic, knowing that everyone I'm playing with pretty much has a mic. Whereas on the computer, you got to download a third-party program, Skype, Mumble, whatever they call, all these different chat services you can use. And everybody has to make sure they have the same one installed, and you got to log into accounts. It's a pain in the ass. This, everybody has the software installed. You just join the game, and you're ready to talk to each other. All right, so my first character was the Argonian. The second, I made a Nightblade. I think he's like a human type character, Nord, whatever. And Nightblades are they're pretty much good at DPS. They're usually assassin type classes and whatnot. Though, like I mentioned, every class can do a little bit of everything. But yeah, their main thing is DPS. And I got him to level 9, so I'm going. But I really love the healer, like I mentioned, the Templar healer. So I've been doing a little PvP this past weekend. After getting to level 21 or so, I went to PvP, and that's a lot of fun. If you're watching this on YouTube, I plan to attach a video to this audio recording. You're probably seeing PvP because I'm going to try and get some of that recorded and throw it up there for you. It's a huge, expansive area, and it can feel kind of lonely, but when you get with a group of people and you start attacking keeps and stuff, wow, does the awe factor really kick in. You feel like you're in the movie Braveheart or something, as you guys are trying to take down castles and fight armies in the fields, other players. It's really cool. I do my thing as the healer, and people are it's a lot of fun, put it that way. And hopefully I'll have some video to go with this audio. And you're watching it now, if all goes well. But for others listening on the podcast, well, go to YouTube, check out ChillinwithB, and you'll see my Elder Scrolls video. So I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, the game is a week and a half old, so there's still plenty to do. Level cap is 50. I'm 22 on my main, so plenty of leveling to do. More story quests to do, and I'm just going to enjoy my time with this game. This game is probably going to be good for me for the whole summer, if not longer. And I look forward to meeting new people and having good times. And I think if you guys are on the fence about Elder Scrolls Online, I think you should go check it out. Check out other people's reviews. Watch some YouTube videos. It's definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, it has some bugs and issues. Sometimes the server has queues to wait to get in. There's long load times occasionally, but these, I think, are things that will get worked out over time. I think the game maybe did better than they initially thought it would as far as sales go, so maybe the servers were overwhelmed. But it's growing pains, and I think it'll get better. On the PC, the same thing happened. When it first came out, people hated it. Lots of patches have come since. They're dedicated to making the game better, adding new content. In fact, E3 just came out last week, and they showed some new content coming to Elder Scrolls Online. A new PvP zone, a new hometown for the orcs. So they're still adding content, and there's a lot to look forward to. And that's it. I'm done singing the praises of this game. Go check it out, get it, join the Ebb and Pact, and look up your buddy, ChillinwithB. Join me. I'm always ready to play with you guys. And that's about it. So thanks for listening. And peace out, wannabes. And if I don't put anything out for the next week or two, well, I'm probably dead. Or I'm just playing a lot of Elder Scrolls. Enjoy.